Joining me now is LifeZet.com senior political reporter Ashley Pratte, along with American Urban Radio Network's White House correspondent April Ryan. Good to see you both, ladies. Thank you so much for joining us. Ashley, what does this say about Hillary? I mean, Bernie Sanders is going to debate Donald Trump right before the California primary. Where's Hillary in all of this?
It says a lot about Hillary, right? She's come out and said, no, Bernie, I am not going to debate you because I'm not going to give your candidacy any credence. I'm the Democratic frontrunner. I will be the nominee. She's already pretty much said all of that. But Donald Trump is giving him the respect and credence he deserves. His candidacy isn't over. And if he does win in California, which right now polls are showing him neck and neck within 2 points of Clinton, that's going to be devastating for her general election bid because she will effectively become the presumptive nominee for the party without winning the largest state in the country. So I think it's huge. And if they actually did debate, I do think that that would actually prop Sanders up a little bit more and maybe give superdelegates a look at him at the convention. Yeah, that's what obviously he wants. But April, there's also real chaos on the left. Hillary Clinton under fire following a new State Department Inspector General report. It says the former secretary knowingly broke the rules by not reporting her use of a private email server. As Democratic National Committee Chairwoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz is finding herself in hot water following accusations of unfair treatment toward Bernie Sanders ahead of the July convention. Now, here's what the DNC chair told me back in March when I asked her about this issue.
There's just no shred of evidence to suggest that I'm favoring Hillary Clinton. I am running, Maria, if I wanted to go, I'm not doing a very good job wrapping the nomination up for her if I were actually favoring Hillary Clinton. I could have worked a lot harder at it if that were what I was doing. There's no evidence to that effect. If I wanted to support a particular candidate, I would do exactly that, not be DNC chair and go support a candidate. But I truly believe that my time is best spent making sure that I can get our party ready to make sure we can continue the progress that we've made under Barack Obama.
Is that what she's done? Get the party ready?
She's trying to get the party ready, Maria. What's happening, we're seeing the Republicans come together and unite. Now we're seeing the Democrats kind of fall apart. What's happening is that Debbie Wasserman Schultz is in a very bad situation. Being a woman, many of the Democratic women are supporting Hillary Clinton. Now, when it comes to Bernie Sanders, you know, she has said that she's been fair, but Bernie Sanders has said on numerous occasions, you know, with the debate issue, it wasn't fairness. He's made other issues saying there wasn't fairness. So she's got to walk a very, very thin line. And going into California on June 7th and then going into the conventions in July, they've got to walk a certain kind of tightrope walk to make sure that everything is above board and looks above board.
Yeah, but that's the point. That's the point. She hasn't been, right? I mean, she had a limited number of debates. A lot of people said that was because she was protecting Hillary.
I cannot go out unequivocally, I can't even say the word this morning, 6 o'clock. I can't go out and say that she has not walked the line. I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
But she is walking a tightrope, and you know, Bernie Sanders is saying some things, but we know that she supports Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, but we got to get the Inspector General reporting here. Dagan, let's talk about this report. How damaging do you see it for Hillary Clinton?
She's been saying that her use of that email or the private email server was okay with the State Department and that they had signed off on it, and it was a lie. That is just simply not true based on this Inspector General's report. And I think Brian Fallon,
her spokesperson?
Brett Baer interviewed him last night and asked him and said, it sounds like that you're trying to say that there's some political bias with this Inspector General, who, by the way, was appointed by President Obama. We can go into that, but there was an email that was uncovered between Huma Abedin and Hillary Clinton in this. I mean, again, there is so much detail in here that I wonder how much lower her numbers on how much people do not trust her go.
Can it really hurt her, though? Because, I mean, this has been out for so long. We've known about this. I don't think anyone's really shocked by this revelation today. So, I mean, has she kind of proven that she can stay above all this? Because it really hasn't dragged her down as much as you
What do you mean
expect.
it hadn't dragged her down? In the latest Fox News poll, is Hillary Clinton honest and trustworthy? Yes, 31%. That's a new low.
She's still winning the Democratic nomination.
I thought it was real disingenuous of Brian Fallon and the entire Clinton camp to come out and say, oh, look what the Inspector General report said. Everybody had emails. Everybody, you know, Colin Powell, Condi Rice, they had Gmails. We all know, and no one is stupid, that that's not even really what we're talking about. It's the fact that Hillary Clinton had a server in her basement. She's the only one who has that. Nobody else had that. And I just think it was so disingenuous to just blow over that fact. Judy, what do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, this is 79 pages of sheer misery for the Clinton campaign because it contradicts every single one of their claims about this server and this system. She said it was there was nothing unique here. The Inspector General says, yes, it was unique. They say that it wasn't consistent with policy. They said she had an obligation to ask whether or not this was appropriate.
And they didn't
she
ask.
didn't. They never asked.
You can say lie. I think,
right. Actually, at this point, you can say lie. And she also, I think to me, the most interesting thing was her motive. This goes to her motive. When she was warned about this, she said, look, I don't want anything personal being accessible.
That was in the email between whom evidence.
Absolutely,
right.
The one you referred to. So, you know, this is a huge problem for her, not because we haven't heard these allegations before, but because the department for which she worked, which she supervised, is now saying, you did virtually everything wrong here. I can't imagine anything worse for the campaign and her credibility at this point.
Yeah, and by the way, Ashley, you just said that Trump and Hillary are in a dead heat. We can't find that poll. Where are you seeing that? Where are they in a dead heat?
Yep, so that's the Public Policy California Institute. It's out of California, and that came out last night. So it shows 44 and 46% for Sanders, and he's trailing her by 2% in California, but that's showing them neck and neck. But that was reported on Politico this morning.
Yep.
So I think that is interesting, but when it comes to this Inspector General's report, what this proves is what a lot of Americans knew all along, which is that Hillary Clinton acts in the personal interest of Hillary Clinton while putting the best interests of the country in the back seat. And I think if she's elected as president, we're going to see much of the same thing. She does things out of personal and political convenience, and that's just not acceptable for Commander-in-Chief or President of the United States to do.
So now I guess the focus is on what happens next. I mean, when we hear from Jim Comey and the FBI.
Absolutely. This is the FBI primary, and this report definitely keeps the pressure on them to continue this investigation. 120 agents working 24/7 on this. I can't believe that there's not going to be. We're going to see another shoe drop here.
One member of the Clinton team cooperated or spoke to the Inspector General.
That's
not
right.
one.
Whereas they spoke to 5 former secretaries of state.
And I think I just heard the President Obama, speaking this morning from Japan. He called it noise. Right?
Noise.
He's going to
just said all this noise.
Hillary Clinton getting elected or even winning the nomination at this point is part of his ability to continue his legacy. And so it's important to him in that way, and fully expect him to be on the campaign trail in the fall, assuming that she's the nominee. But again, you talk about superdelegates. Those superdelegates can be fickle, as we saw in 2008. I don't know.
It's true.
If more problems erupt for her, that's something to watch.
But I still think the FBI's action or lack of such will be dispositive.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean lack of such?
I mean, if they do not make a referral, if they do not act against her, this will be a very bad bump in the road.
For sure.
But I think she still gets the nomination.
Ashley Pratte, April Ryan, thank you, ladies.